I got a new horse, my new fastest horse, called it Dr. Shelfman. It's a gorgeous horse. I had the tail braided for
Excellent.
easy access
And
to the anus.
it's appropriate because you feed your horse stimulants all the time.
Yes. I haven't always been known for my awareness in situations. So, Rob, the way it works is to save the game, you kind of just have to camp. If you're not near your camp and don't sleep, you kind of just set up camp in the wilderness. And I went and explored this new area, just got this new horse, and I just decided to camp up on this hill. But it turns out this area is sort of the area owned by redneck hillbillies. And as I went to sleep, they came and accosted me and just basically tried to rob me. I was like, I'm not having any of this. And I started having a gunfight with them, which scared Dr. Shelferman, who ran into the middle of the gunfire and is now dead. And the worst part about this is after the gunfight and after I've looted their bodies and said my goodbyes to Dr. Shelfman, I look and I've set up camp right next to where it was like a warning, like don't set up camp here because there's another campsite with skeletons of people who have been like robbed and killed. I set up camp right next to them.
Your situational awareness is you saw skeletons, you're like, hey dudes, what's up? And you're just like, as you're just tapping your tent pegs into the ground.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys having a good night? Oh, not social. That's okay. We'll catch up in the morning.
And that is the end of Dr. Shelfman. On to the next one.
2 for 2. That's great.
Bazinga boys are here to speak all of their thoughts on the Big Bang Theory. Rob has an opinion, Vaughn has an opinion, Pete probably has one too. But most of all, Rob has an opinion.
Welcome back with the Bazinga boys. Who are you boys? I'm Pete.
I'm Rob.
Welcome back. Like they were listening before. There was a chance of them leaving while the theme song played. Hi, I'm Vaughn. I'm also a Bazinga boy. What's this show about?
This show is about consensually watching The Big Bang Theory and then talking about every episode.
Okay, so just in case anyone was wondering, you know how sometimes we theme the episode like, hey, it's Halloween. Let's have a Halloween theme. Or it's Christmas. Let's break out the Christmas cheer. For some reason, Rob said, hey, how about we have a consent-themed episode?
This was not my idea. This was yours or Pete's.
Well, Pete, did you come up with this idea for a consent-themed episode?
Yeah, and by coming up with the idea, I sent you guys like a text saying, hey, we should have an episode themed around consent.
Why?
And then we gave you permission to do that.
Why? Why is consent a theme?
I thought it was just such... we always bring it up, like how creepy all of these characters are and how gross and manipulative they are in all different aspects of their life. So we thought, what a better way than to kind of really put the spotlight on them.
Celebrate consent.
Celebrate consent,
Okay, well, that's fair. So I've got a question for both of you. And this is like a serious question. In real life, in your sexual encounters, have you ever asked for consent verbally from a woman? You just got so no, I'm guessing.
So anyway,
No, just
hit straight to the
turn.
DVD jacket. Vaughn, what have you got?
Oh, it's off to a bad start, fellas.
So Vaughn, have you ever just asked, do I have consent to put my willy in you? Have you ever asked something along those lines?
Yes.
Or do you take it as implied consent?
No, I legitimately have one time, and it's interesting. It's because I was hooking up with like a festival girl who had just like glitter on her tits, so basically her tits were out. And we went back to her campsite and we're lying in the bed together. But it was kind of that thing because they were out and I didn't want to assume they were available for touching.
Good man.
So I just said, "Hey, can I touch your boobs?" And she said, "Yeah," and nodded.
Oh,
but
of
then,
course.
like every
Yeah.
step I asked verbally, "Hey, is it okay that I do this?" Because I didn't want to assume just because, hey, because you got your tits out doesn't mean they're free access.
Yeah.
So I have, but I'm very disappointed in you boys
I've
for
definitely,
not.
I've definitely done that. I was a bit confused by the question. I thought it was like, excuse me, here is a affidavit So, of things that I am willing to do and not do. Yeah, of course, 100%. Consent is sexy, dudes.
Yeah, a better way to answer the question, Vaughn, would to be say, I have never had non-consensual sex.
No. Well, I was asking if you stumble. Don't
Yeah.
throw your stumbling at me. Good. And I like your idea, Pete. Please go to the App Store and download I Consent, and we can get this whole thing sorted out.
It's like when you download a new update for your phone or whatever, you need to read through the 15 pages of policy. And
It
then
can be our
click,
side-
I approve.
It can be our side venture. It can be app powered by Bazinga Boys.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. So an app called I Consent.
Yeah.
I actually once was not asked consent, and I was how to put this. My personal space was violated, and it's interesting. We're talking about like an iPhone app. But it was you too did not ask my consent to penetrate my phone, and they fucking did. And that was the last time I used an iPhone product. Pete, do you have any more consent stories? Because this is the weird theme of this episode.
Definitely not.
Great, well, thanks for that theme. Before we get into anything about the episode today, I gotta ask you, did either of you laugh at today's episode?
No
I
laughs.
did.
Oh!
I did. This was a weird one for me. I had a laugh and 2 smiles.
Okay, 1 laugh, 2 smiles, is that correct?
That is correct.
I'll give it a smile. In one
Okay,
scene.
1 laugh, 2 smiles for Rob.
Yeah.
Rob, we need to have a talk.
Okay.
Pete, you don't know about this, but I think you're gonna have to weigh in on this as well.
Okay.
Rob, you've never seen Game of Thrones, right? You hate Game of Thrones.
I've never seen Game of Thrones. Besides the
well,
pilot.
The thing is, with Game of Thrones, it's so good, but you have to... Pete, have you seen Game of Thrones?
Yeah, every episode.
Yeah, great. The thing about Game of Thrones is, once you go through the whole first season, you're kind of hooked and you get the idea, but it is a big commitment. It's 10 hours.
It's a slog. Yeah.
Yeah, it is a bit of a slog.
I think the thing that I found the biggest challenge with the show is you have to watch so many different storylines you don't care about to catch the little glimpse of the ones you do, because there's so many stories interwoven. Yeah.
But the thing is, I've got an idea, and I want to test something with you, Rob. This is basically to give you an idea of the program. You ready?
All right.
Wow.
Wow, I feel like I've seen it all now.
Exactly. Well, yeah, exactly. So I just condensed 10 hours
Into
into
9 seconds.
Yeah, into basically 10 hours into 10 seconds. So did you enjoy that, Rob?
It was definitely less boring than the pilot episode that I watched.
Okay, so do you care to give us a recap of the season?
I can't give you a recap.
Oh, you can't. Oh, you
fast.
can't.
Yeah.
Well, it went a bit too fast for you. Well, I thought you'd maybe be able to give me a recap. I thought you might be able to tell me about characters such as Littlefinger and Varys, because much like them, I have little birds everywhere. And today, I received a message. And this is the message I received. Hey, I work with Rob. I saw him using work hours to watch The Big Bang Theory. Don't worry, I've already reported him to HR, and I thought you should know the following. A. Rob was watching the episode at a speed of 2 times, which I believe reduces the ability to review the episode properly. I agree! As you just saw there, you can review shit!
It's 1.5, and I've admitted to this before.
You're 4.5. So how many episodes are you watching at 4.5 speed?
1.5.
How are you getting laughs out of it?
1.5.
Okay, how are you getting laughs out of it? How are you getting the timing of the genius comedy?
The jokes work better. Here's the challenge. Next episode, watch it on Daily Motion at 1.5 and see what happens. I've watched probably 3. I was in a bit of a rush.
But Pete, do you think this counts as watching the episode, watching it in fast forward?
I think you should watch it again now, and we'll check back in 20 minutes.
I think you should watch all the episodes that you watched at double speed. I reckon you should watch again, because that's not fair. We're putting in more hours than you.
I feel like I'm getting more out of it than you if I'm having a laugh and you guys aren't at normal speed. The timing's too slow. They're waiting. See, the thing with the when you speed it up is it skips out the audience laughter. It gives you the decision of when to laugh.
I'm going to leave that up to the people who are listening right now. The whole idea of the program is to enjoy the program as it was made, not in some weird, wacky, double speed Benny Hill style.
Watching it blindfolded while making a sandwich is how it was intended. Is that...
Rob, what else do you do at 1.5 speed?
I mean, I do consensual things at faster than 1.5 speed.
And also, the message wasn't over, by the way. How many times did you laugh, Rob? You said once, 2 smiles? He says that you laughed 2 times. This is just to make sure he doesn't lie in the upcoming podcast episode. You are lying to us. You laughed twice.
I didn't laugh twice, Vaughn.
You really want me to trust you, a friend of 8+ years, over the stranger who messaged me out of the blue?
I think he's just a fan. He's been threatening to send you stuff over time, so you're probably going to get more information as things go on.
I welcome it. I welcome this WikiLeaks. I will be the Julian Assange, but be consentful at the same time.
Yeah. So you give him consent. I don't know where to go from the end of that line.
well, let's talk about the episode. Why don't we?
For sure. So we just watched the Hofstadter Isotope. Well, me and Vaughn watched it. Rob watched some bastardized, sped up version of it. In this one,
fucking cheater.
Penny decides to go along to the comic book store with the Big Bang Theory lads. She's there to purchase a comic book for her 13-year-old nephew or something. She strikes up a conversation with Stuart, the owner, and for some reason decides to go on a date with him, much to the disgust of Glasses Man for some reason, which I found really bizarre because Glasses Man and Penny dated at the end of season 1, early season 2. Leonard messed that all up, and kind of I felt that he was moving on with his life, but he's still obviously a sad, pathetic little man.
But in previous episodes, we've seen Comic Book Man be a dick.
What? I've never seen Comic Book Man in any episode previously.
Oh wait, hold up. No, that's an episode I've seen from the future.
Oh, God.
You're just zipping through time and space with your 1.5 speed viewing. You're opening up wormholes all through the DVDs.
You're ruining the podcast, Rob.
I'm gonna hold you there. We'll come back to this conversation later when I get to my segment because it's valid.
Oh, wait, are you gonna hold me until we get to the episode you're actually up to in season 4 or whatever the fuck? Okay.
I think it's season 7, but that's not where I'm up
Jesus. to. Oh God, Rob. So yeah, I'll agree with you there, Pete, because it's been bullshit. Every time Glasses Man has tried to move on, Penny has been supportive and loving and encouraging.
Yep.
But every time she does anything that's not to do with him, he's jealous and whingy and a little pissy bitch. And I think, did you mention that he goes to a bar with Raj and...
So he's a pissy bitch and then decides to go out and basically try and pick up drunk women, which I thought was very fitting for this theme because we're online personalities, and I really feel like we've got... We've got a responsibility to really highlight, important topics such as consent.
Yes. We have a responsibility.
We do have a responsibility for it. And I just feel like this television show from a decade ago doesn't really kind of agree with today's standards.
I agree wholeheartedly, by the way, because the whole episode is about how comics are nerdy, but comics are mainstream, so it is a very dated episode.
Yeah, I mean, look at Shelfman even made a comment about hitting on blind girls.
Hey, wait, that's nothing wrong with that. Why can't you hit on blind girls? Don't be.
It was the context of what he was saying, so don't turn this on me.
Don't be sightist.
I am not sightist.
The thing that really annoyed me about this episode, and we've talked about it before, is the reliance on references to be the punchline. Whoever wrote this episode just thought, if I make a nerd reference, that will just carry us through. That's all it needs to do. And to really show that to you, I have made a compilation of every joke in the episode, and there was other jokes that had references, but these are the jokes that hey, if I mention something that is a nerd thing, that is the punchline. Nothing else, just mentioning the thing. This is them beating that horse to death.
Amazing Spider-Man, Ultimate Spider-Man, Spectacular Spider-Man, The Marvelous Adventures of Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2099, and is familiar with the reestablishment of the DC multiverse. Oh, I forgot Sensational Spider-Man.
Ooh, look, a new Batman belt buckle.
Did you just shut the TV off in the middle of the classic Deep Space Nine, Star Trek, the original series, Trouble with Tribbles crossover episode? A moment ago, when you turned off the TV in the middle of the classic Deep Space Nine, Star Trek, the original series, Trouble with Tribbles crossover episode. And tonight, we are playing the classic 1980 interactive text adventure, Zork.
Stop! He's already dead.
Another 10 seasons to go. Can't wait. Can't wait to see what DVDs and comic books the writers pull out and just randomly put their fingers against to reference. Do you think the writers just have one of those, they've just got a wall of posters and they've just got a single dart and then they just throw it at that and whatever that is, that's a reference?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And yeah, it would make just about... We should do an experiment where we write an episode and we actually set that physical thing up and see how it goes, because I think it would be very similar.
So I think next week's episode, we need to reference everything.
Yes!
all
Oh,
the time.
okay, that's a really good idea. We'll create a board. We'll do something.
I'll make a little note. Reference episode.
Last thing I want to say about the episode is Penny starts to invite in the comic book owner guy, and she wants to ride his dick. And she just goes, "Hey, do you want to come in for coffee?" Which is obviously a code for
Sex, coitus.
yes. Thank you.
A hand
So,
job, if you will, at the least.
Would you say that is consent?
It's
implied consent.
Yeah. So if I ask a girl out to coffee,
Not out to coffee. In for coffee and out to coffee are different things, and you know it, Vaughn.
in and out, it's all the same thing. Anyway, let's go to the Ford versus DVD jacket.
Before we move on, what was disgusting about that is that Stuart specifically asks for decaf,
Disgusting.
and fuck that guy. No, and then Penny gives Stuart full strength coffee against his will.
Oh!
That is consent! Oh, wow. We really brought it right back around. It's time for Ford versus DVD jacket.
It's time for Vaughnverse, the DVD jacket. Thanks for allowing me to record this.
That's actually a good one. So, as we all know, Pete's been giving me clues. So, for this one, he gave me the first letter of every word so I can try and guess the DVD jacket. And he also gave me the names.
I want you to get at least one from this season before we wrap it up.
Yeah, we're getting close to the end, so I don't know how close I got this time. But we'll give it a red hot go. Okay. Hard-titted pennies degrading to unfuckable nerds. And creepy stalker Leonard tantrums to big stupid wankers Howard and Raj.
You got the names.
How did I go?
You got the names right. So this is season 2, episode 20, the Hofstadter Isotope. Heartbroken that Penny's dating the ultimate nerd, a comic book salesman, Leonard tries the bar scene with Howard and Raj.
Fuck. Yeah. Yep. That's what happened. And what? The ultimate nerd isn't a comic book store owner. He was not that nerdy. They were in the episode.
No, he was into art. He was into art. He took Penny to like an opening of his art show, and there was wine
Exactly.
there.
And he was charming, apart from the weird picture he drew. And
when he couldn't read like sexual social cues.
yeah, that was a bit endearing. But like Leonard was just having a little bitchy tantrum, and he's like, "Oh, what's he got that I don't have?" I'm like, "Fucking heaps."
Everything.
Here's his own business.
Yeah.
The ability to like not be a creepy asshole. The ability to draw okay. He owns a business.
He's not constantly looking up into the lights for some reason. You fucking weirdo.
His hands are like proportionate to the rest of his body. He's got a lot going for him, glasses man.
Guys, you want to hear my new segment?
Yeah.
It's called Consent.
3 no's means yes. That is consent.
Okay, so welcome to the game of consent, where you two compete against each other in a trivia challenge called Consent. All right, so please wait until all of the options in the multiple choice categories have been read out before you say your buzzer. Okay, so the buzzer is, may I please answer the question? And you may answer the question once you have heard the response. Yes, you may. Thank you for asking. Question 1. And don't worry, this is actually Big Bang Theory related. I've made subtle adjustments for you to notice that, okay?
Okay.
Prior to the 2010 Football World Cup, Britain responded to South Africa's request for an extra 1 billion condoms as part of the HIV prevention drive. Although considerably lower than 1 billion, how many condoms were sent to South Africa by Britain? A. 40.
Oh, you're such a twat. So, continue.
All right. A. 42 million. B. Sheldon. C. C. 212 million. Or D. 0 because Howard intercepted the package.
May I answer the question?
You may, Pete. Thank you for asking.
Howard.
Incorrect. You're wasting your goes here. Okay. Question 2.
Is he on -1 now?
He's on -1. All right, Pete. Vaughn might actually win a game that I've said. Between 1788 and 1868, how many convicts were sent to Australian colonies from Britain? Was it A, 164,000, B, 12, C, 218,000, or D, what does this question have to do with the Big Bang Theory?
May I answer the question, please?
You may.
C.
C, 218,000 is incorrect.
Okay.
This game's great.
So, Vaughn, all you have to do for this next round is not answer any. Actually, you're both on 0. You're actually.
No, you said it was negative! You can't backtrack on it now!
So, Vaughn, all you have to do is stay silent, and you win this round. Okay. By the way, this is the reference as to how I know about Comic Book Guy. In Season 7, Episode 2 of The Big Bang Theory, an episode we have not yet seen, Sheldon is conned by Stuart at the comic book store into purchasing a crappy gift for Leonard. What collectible superhero toy was he sent home with? Was it A, AIDS, B, Aquaman, C, Supergirl, or D, I'm glad this segment is nearly over?
May I answer the question?
You may.
C. Supergirl.
You got all 3 incorrect.
Oh.
Vaughn wins.
Well, if that doesn't get you in the mood for financial advice, I don't know what will.
I think this theme song might.
Don't worry, everyone. Vaughn gave me consent to sing this song.
I didn't.
Enjoy.
Financial advice from Vaughn is gonna make you feel really happy and warm.
Like a hot cup of cocoa or a nice warm blanket,
Vaughn's going to teach you about money. Put it up your nose, put it up your nose, put it up your nose. Put it up your nose, put it up your nose, put it up your nose. He knows when you are sleeping, he knows when you're awake. This song sounds like a Christmas song, cause it's advice from Santa
How
Vaughn.
do you even get the
You better watch out, you better not cry, cause Santa Vaughn is stealing your cocaine tonight.
Cocaine?
He is gonna put it up his nose.
nose?
His nose.
Yay.
As you guys know, sometimes I get, sometimes, all the time, I get calls from telemarketers, and I got another one. And this one, I actually kind of felt bad about at the end. I was giving him kind of shit, and he just felt down. And what I'll let you know is I did not get his consent to record this. So, lock me up. Also, I had to bleep out him saying my name, saying my surname. So here's some financial advice from Vaughn.
Am I speaking with Mr.
You are speaking with Mr.
Okay, great, Mr. How are you today?
I'm the best in the world. How about you?
Well, it's been better. So
You've been better.
I'm
What's
telling
gone
you,
wrong? Is everything okay?
Yeah, everything is great.
Oh, I thought you said you've been better. Are you okay?
Well, yeah.
Okay, good. I just worried about you.
So I'm calling you on behalf of the company Coins500.com, a leading trading company concerned with the global financial market.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, tell me, Mr. Do you you have any trading experience with financial assets or instruments online?
I do all my trading on the Bazinga market.
On which market can you repeat, sorry?
The Bazinga market.
The Bazinga market.
Yes. Are you not aware of the Bazinga market? I don't want to big league you here, but if you don't know what the Bazinga market is, you may not be on my level.
Yeah, probably. So, okay, you have pretty much experience with trading online.
How many Sheldons you got invested? Because I got 3 pennies and a Howard.
Okay, that's no. I'm not talking about experience. I'm just here to represent my company.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
but how many Sheldons you got? 'Cause I got 3 pennies and a Howard. Oh.
Okay, so can I continue?
Okay, what's your company going for? The Big Raj?
No, not really. Okay, just tell me how is it going for you? How is the trading going for you?
Well, let me just put it this way. I have every season of The Big Bang Theory on DVD. Do you have that?
So I really can't understand what you're trying to say, or you're just joking around with me.
Oh, why would I joke around with... I'm trying to explain to you how successful I've been in this by explaining I have every season of The Big Bang Theory on DVD.
Okay. So are you trading by yourself or with a broker?
Are you calling me broke?
And he hung up.
Or
Well, I hope those financial advices help you in the future with your trading.
Should we go through the dick starter?
Oh, fuck, I totally forgot about this. Yes, what's going on with the dick starter?
All right, cool.
I think we're good. I think I'm good. See ya. No.
Well, I came up with a concept. I wanted to run it past you boys first, because we haven't had an official meeting. Rob, do you want to give it a bit of a recap, what we're talking about here?
Pete and I have been hassling Vaughn to share this poster that he made of his penis replacing a dog in a movie called Cool Dog, and he made the poster Cool Dick, and he'd made it consensually for his girlfriend, but then he sent it to us, which he's probably regretting since. And
I know, it was your reaction. I enjoyed sending it to you because Pete laughed his ass off, and then he was the most hype about my dick more hype than any girl ever has been. He's like, I am hype on your dick, and I was like, this feels really nice.
Yeah. So it led to us putting out a poll where we asked the listeners, you, to vote and in certain scenarios as to whether you would be interested in seeing a poster of all 3 of our dicks replacing the faces of the Big Bang Theory characters on a poster. And I think it was, 53% or something came back?
Yeah,
Was it higher than that?
59.6%, I think.
Oh, okay.
I'm just checking the stats here. Yes, 59.6%. You said yes.
On radio show.
I'm just going down the stairs to get those stats.
Sorry, that was I don't even know what that was. That was me hitting a glass jar with a pencil. Okay. So since then, Pete has...
Vaughn's just got his head in his hands. He's so disappointed.
Rob and Pete are having their own good time. All right, so it led to Pete saying, hey, instead of a Kickstarter, let's do a Dick Starter. So Pete, let's go.
Yeah. So this is our Dick Starter, and we want you, the listeners, to be our bare backers. So we thought we'd
That's a good one.
I thought we'd break it up into 4 tiers. One of the big things about the poll is everybody, when we asked how much they'd actually pay for this work of art, they gave us either $4.20 or $69 or combinations of those numbers. So I thought if we set 4 tiers, the first being $4.20, which will net you a digital only copy of a
Wait, we're giving it away!
Of a comedic illustrated rendering of our penises replacing the faces of the Big Bang Theory.
Oh, that's pretty good. Okay.
So it's not it's modeled off our own penises, but it's not.
Who's gonna be drawing this?
We'll get to the details later. So $4.20 will be the first. It'll be digital only. The next tier will be $6.90. That will be the digital copy, but it will also be accompanied with a physical photo-sized copy that we'll post out to you
Of the drawing.
of the comedic illustrated rendering of our penises, replacing the Big Bang Theory cards.
This is way too cheap. I feel like I'm
Yeah,
selling myself.
no. Well, I'm okay with this, but I like the idea that it's a comedic illustration. It's not one of those serious dicks on faces.
Because when people look at our dicks and they start laughing, we can go, "Whoa, they were always supposed to."
They're
be funny."
comedic.
It was comedic.
Well, no, how could you have a picture of a person where their face, not their head, just their face has been replaced by a penis? I don't know how the fuck we're gonna do that. Like the head would be easier to Photoshop, but their face is a comedic illustration of a penis.
So
Clown shoes on. Sorry, go.
the next tier will be $69. This will include all previous tiers plus the real deal, a one-off up to an A3 image. That
Up to an A3.
Your-
What if they order
your
like an
choice-
A45? So
your choice of size. Up to an A3 image. We'll put the full details up on the site, and that will be the one-off, the real deal. Beyond that, we're doing our additional stretch target of $420, which is the full hog. All previous tiers. Plus, we'll work with the individual purchaser to create something that will really fit, I guess, with the decor of their home, maybe. And we'll probably end up signing it with our unique penis signatures and throw some
oh,
extras
that's a
in
good
there as
idea.
well. So the four tiers again. So there'll be unlimited $4.20 and $6.90 illustrated
Could you just
versions.
imagine if for some reason this podcast got successful and we'd have signing days where everyone's like, instead of signing girls' tits, everyone's like, just sign this with your dick though, like you did on the poster.
Or sign my dick.
Yeah, that's
sign
probably the
my
way we're
dick
going.
with your dick. That's what we want.
Yeah. Just a quick doc.
So the details will be up in the next couple of weeks. We need to actually have a discussion off air to figure out the details.
Well, I'm glad you pitched it all on air, and we're locking that down.
I just can't see anyone paying $69 for this.
Hence,
They said they would. They said they would in the fucking
But that's-
poll.
that's why-
And people don't lie.
Let's
That's-
set a rule that we're not. None of us are allowed to
Guys-
create fake accounts to purchase these to ourselves.
You're the only one who
because,
do it.
guys, that's why I thought, like, those two tiers, like the $4.20 and the $6.90 of things where it's not actually our penises out there for the world to see. But then you can have unlimited of those. And I guess, it's every dollar can count towards our web hosting fees, etc.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that sounds pretty fair to me. Those Bazinga Boys shirt folders are just flying out the door. I don't know. You're gonna have to get in on this one fast. On that delightful note, I've been Vaughn.
And I've been Rob, and thank you for listening. And I give you permission to listen to all of our episodes.
And I've been Pete.
I give permission, Rob, to shut the fuck up. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you for giving us consent to penetrate your ear holes. Now we give you consent to penetrate us by interacting with us on social media. You know, all our ones that we have. And leaving us a review on iTunes if that's still a thing. And also a special deal now. If you're someone who asks for consent, you can buy stuff from our Bazinga Buy store. But if you don't, you're a dirty dog and I hate ya. Bye! Did anyone else have anything else to say that might be funny so I can use it as an outro? Well, your silence says more than real evidence.